Live from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University, FATV presents coverage of Monty-Fitchburg Bulldog ice hockey. Tonight it's a Coughlin Conference showdown as the Bulldogs take on the Tigers of Littleton Bromfield. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Polak. Happy to have you along with us here today. Monty-Fitchburg coming off a big 6-3 win on Saturday over the Worcester Wildcats to get back to 500, 6-6 overall this season, 3-3 in the Coughlin. Coming into tonight's contest, Tucker Watkins, 2 goals and an assist for the Bulldogs. Ben Giannett, Austin Haas had a goal and 2 assists each. And Kyle Jenner and Charlie Collaro also found the back of the net and assisted on a goal each. Easton Minardi made 29 saves in the victory as the Bulldogs able to put more goals on Worcester than any other team had done in this season going into Saturday. 6 times they were able to beat Joey Fisher, been one of the best goalies in Central Mass. Meanwhile, for Littleton Bromfield, they're coming off a 4-2 win on Saturday against Boston Latin Academy. And Liam Glue was the star of the show. 2 goals, 2 assists for the junior from the Bromfield school. His twin brother Connor also assisted on a couple of those goals. Ethan King and Andrew Archer had a goal as well, and Tyler Proto with 19 saves in the victory. The Tigers coming today with a record of 11-2. They are 6-1 in Coughlin Conference play. Their lone loss in the conference coming against St. Bernard's back on January the 11th. That was an overtime loss to the Bernardians. And their one other loss this season coming to Division III Taunton. That was 7-1 in the championship of a hockey tournament down at the Blackstone Valley Iceplex. But other than that, though, Littleton Bromfield has been very strong this year. 11 wins, 2 losses, already matched the 11 wins they had last season. And looking down this team, looking down the results, they've been very solid both offensively and defensively. 71 goals scored this year is more than any other team in the Coughlin, even more than Lunenburg Air Shirley, who's a perfect 7-0 in the conference. And they played one more game. LAS only has 60 goals to show for their 14 games, while Littleton Bromfield 71 from 13. In addition, they've also conceded a conference low 22 goals on the season. Solid goaltending has helped with that. Tyler Proto, a senior, with a goals against under 1. Jacob Dangle has also helped in that regard with 5 of his 6 appearances resulting in victory as well. Dangle, the junior netminder, is slated to get the start tonight for the Tigers. For Monty-Fitchburg, they'll be going back to Owen Richard in goal, who will be making his 5th appearance. Richard's got a .908 save percentage. He's played very solidly in his contests this season. The senior goalkeeper from Ashburnham has been playing pretty well in goal. Tonight he'll give Easton Minardi a spell, and he'll take the crease back again. But looking down this Littleton Bromfield team, Gavin Worling's the offensive leader, 15 goals and 10 assists for 25 points. He's a junior. And Littleton Bromfield's got a lot of juniors, 10 in all on this team. And Coach Kevin Lazat was telling me they all play too. This is a Littleton Bromfield team that can consistently play 3 lines. All of them threats to score. They've got 8 different players who've got double-digit points on the season. You look down the list, Liam Glue's got 17 points, Connor Glue's got 21, Andrew Archer 16 points with 8 goals. And then Zach Lazar's got 21 points, 6 goals and 15 assists, just past the 100-point plateau in his career. Ethan King's got 24 points on 9 goals and 15 assists. Blake Hannon's got 4 goals and 7 assists as well. So does Ryan Petterino with 5 and 6 for 11. But just a very solid up-and-down team for Littleton Bromfield. This is a team that also has been very solid on defense, only conceding about 16.6 shots per game, mainly because they do so well at driving offense that the other team just struggles to get any zone time on the other end. After all, you could say a key to a great defense is having a very strong offense. So again, Monty-Fitchburg 6-6 coming into tonight's contest. Littleton Bromfield 11-2. These teams have played once before this season. Littleton Bromfield were the victors 5-1 earlier this year up at the Groton School. We'll see how the result goes tonight for these two sides as we'll throw it down to public address announcer Jim LaPointe with the starting lineups of the national anthem right here on FATV.
Mass Coughlin Conference Division IV matchup between the Littleton Bromfield Tigers and the MT-FHS Bulldogs. The student athletes involved in tonight's contest understand the importance of sportsmanship and know that it should be practiced at all times. Please help our students by showing respect to all participants and spectators at tonight's contest and cheering only in a positive manner. Here are the starting lineups. First for the Tigers. At right wing, number 11, Zach Lazat. At center, number 6, Connor Glue. Left wing, number 16, Ryan Pittarino. Starting on defense, number 9, Jake Taglieri. On defense, number 3, Liam Glue. And in goal for the Tigers, number 31, Jacob Dangle. The head coach for Littleton Bromfield is Kevin Lazat. And now for the Bulldogs. Starting on defense, number 30, Charlie Calero. On defense, number 2, Alex Armstrong. Starting at center, number 11, Austin Haas. Left wing, number 15, Ben Jeanette. Starting at right wing, number 16, Jordan Samet. And in goal tonight for the Raiders, number 1, Owen Richard. The head coach for MT-FHS is Noah Saracen. Officials for tonight's game, Robert Sachs and Ryan James. Ladies and gentlemen, students, at this time I would ask you all to please stand as we honor our nation and the flag with a playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Just about ready for puck drop here from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. It's the MT-FHS Bulldogs and the Littleton Bromfield Tigers set to do battle for the second time this year in Coughlin Conference play. Daniel Bolak here with you, Travis Falk on camera tonight. Happy to have you along with us here on FATV. Starting goalies for these two teams for Owen Richard. He's making his 5th appearance, 1-3 record, 1 shutout, 275 goals against, 908 save percentage. On the other side, Jacob Dangle, a junior, making his 7th appearance of the season, 5-1 record, 1 shutout, 265 goals against, 870 save percentage. Dangle's numbers a little soured by his appearance in the game against Taunton, in which the other Tigers there scored 7 times. Take that game out, and Dangle's got white sparkling numbers. Bulldogs go from left to right in the home white uniforms with red numbering and trim. The Tigers will go from right to left in the dark blue uniforms. As there's a turnover, a shot, and that's fought off by Richard. Only 8 seconds in the game, has to face a high danger shot on the turnover. Majine tries to get it out of the zone. Knocked up in the air by one of the Tigers' hands. Now pass to the near side for Zach Lazat. He'll dump it into the zone. And behind the net. Moved around. Right point, Liam Glue keeps it in, tries to throw it towards goal. On the right wing corner, Lazat trying to center. Austin Haas takes it instead and pushes it up ice. Taken at the red line by Connor Glue. He'll dump it back into the zone. Richard will leave behind his own net for Armstrong. Around to the near side. Haas will take that back after some pressure by Jake Taglieri. Stretch pass gets it out of the zone. Tigers will take the puck. Ethan King pass it along. Kyle Jenner with the takeaway now up on the left side. Tucker Watkins doubles back on the left side boards. Nifty moves to keep control of the puck. Still battling there. Two different Tigers trying to take it away. Finally won by Gavin Whirling. He'll skate it up the right side, get around Matt Daniels. Whirling trying to take it all the way to goal. Gets the shot off, stopped by Richard. Now on the other side, Bulldogs carried it in from Jackson Leader. Drop off the middle of the ice for Gendron, or Watkins rather. To the right wing corner, Jackson Stubbert with a touch on. Watkins behind the net. Turning around, lost hand of the puck. May have got it caught in the Zamboni entrance. Pass intercepted by Stubbert. Throws in the direction of goal. Goes off a leg. The near side whacked down to center ice. Gendron taking it the blue line, trying to regain the zone. 13:05 to go first period. No score. Shots 2-0 in favor of the Tigers. Centering pass goes through the slot and out the other side to the right wing circle. Taken by Littleton Bromfield. Liam Glue passes up right side. Gavin Whirling takes it off the boards. Holds the right circle. Shot is knocked aside by Richard with the glove. Left wing corner, Blake Hannon battling for it for the Tigers, but it's won by the Bulldogs. Here's Jackson Leader. Leader up to the red line, runs into two different Tigers. Justin Lefebvre, one of them. He's one of the 10 juniors that Littleton Bromfield has at their disposal. On the near side, Austin Huber. He's a freshman. He's one of two on the varsity roster. For Stefanillo with the takeaway. He had an assist in the game last time against Littleton Bromfield. He assisted on a goal by Jordan Samet. Pass to the left point, misses the mark, and now Lefebvre on the rush there. Is that one put over the net? Now another chance, two shots in front, and Richard able to stop them both. But now Cale Picos with a shot that's blocked. You can see the intensity and how much Littleton Bromfield will make you pay if you make any mistakes. Charlie Collaro has it. He's wearing number 30 tonight. I was wondering why Easton Minardi was wearing his visitor's jersey tonight in warm-ups, and he's still wearing it because Collaro is wearing his home jersey. Must be some issue with the normal number 27 that he wears. Also, I guess it means he's a temporary captain tonight because that C sewn into Minardi's jersey, not enough time to take that out, so I guess just for tonight, I imagine. Collaro will take it in the left side. You don't really see number 30 as a skater's number nowadays. That's pretty much always a goalie number. But then again, I think older hockey fans at least may remember Chris Knuckles-Nyland, who wore 30. But I can't think of any other examples of a skater wearing that number. Down the ice, Jack Dunn trying to get on that. He's one of the captains of this Littleton Bromfield team, but the takeaway by Austin Haas in the first shot of the game for the Bulldogs is turned aside by Jacob Dangle. Jacob had a brother, Ethan, who was playing last year for the Tigers. He graduated. Ethan was a defenseman, from my recollection. Stretch pass on the left side intercepted by Petterino. He keeps a hold of it. He takes the shot. May have gotten a piece of the iron and then went wide. Heard it tick off of something. Bulldogs try to throw off the boards and able to get it out of the zone just enough. Begiene up the middle of the ice to the right circle. Puts on the brakes, throws it around the boards, finds Haas in the left wing corner. Tries to get back for GNA, can't turn it towards goal. Liam Glue comes up the center of the ice, got two defenders to beat. He'll get the shot off anyway. Richard makes the save. Shots 4-1 in favor of Littleton Bromfield with 5 minutes gone, no score. Ethan King in the right circle for the Tigers. Trying to move it along for Andrew Archer. Now on the left side, they did now a shot, save, rebound, another save by Richard. Scrambling and another shot goes just wide. Great chances for Littleton Bromfield. That close to striking first. Shots now 7-1. Flipped out of the zone, but goes off the boards in an awkward way. Tucker Watkins will have it back. Gendron on the right circle. Tries to get around Whirling. He'll keep control of it on the right circle against the boards around for Jackson Stubbert in the left wing corner. Stubbart fought into the boards. A wrestling match behind the play. Liam Glue getting tangled up there. Ethan King in the zone, shoots and scores! A snipe into the bottom right corner for Ethan King. The senior captain's got his 10th goal of the season, and that's the first strike for Littleton Bromfield. 8 of the first 9 shots on target in this contest coming from the visiting Tigers. Just King picking a spot and nailing it. Bomb right corner just out of Richard's reach. One nothing to the Tigers. Sounded like it was Whirling and Taglieri getting the assists. For Whirling, that'd be his 11th assist, and for Taglieri, his 5th. Well, again, the 10th goal of the season for Ethan King. Second on the team in points, now 25 on the season. If Whirling and not got an assist on it, would have been tied, but because he got an assist, that means now Whirling's on 26. So he's still one ahead. Gendron can't keep control of the puck. King takes it away on the right side, tries the self-pass. Taken by the Bulldog defense instead. Kyle Gendron had it knocked off a stick, keeps it at the red line, dumps in and around the boards. Jack Dunn in the left wing corner. Knocks it out of the zone. Armstrong tries to blast it in. It's deflected towards the right side off the boards. Cale Picos on the night for Stefanillo. Trying to make a play on it for Monty Tech Fitchburg. Nick Atkins there as well. Off the boards, kept in by Collaro. Collaro trying to hold and get a shot off. Couldn't get it cleanly away. Too much pressure there from Blake Hannon. Tigers up the left side of the ice. Collaro fighting off another Tiger. That was Hannon again. Near side stretch pass intercepted by Lefebvre, thrown back in. Collaro behind the net. Nearly had it taken away. Here comes Noah Johnson. Into the zone, goes off a skate, can't be cleanly held. Scrambling for it on the far side point. In the Bulldog end, finally taken away by Hannon. Moves it up for Austin Huber. And dumped in and around. Hannon and Huber are the 2 freshmen for the Tigers this season. Collaro trying to dig it out right side. Punched off the boards, kept in by Liam Glue. Now right side shot, hit the iron. Now back out to the point. Connor Glue with a shot that goes wide. Zach Lazard on the right side, his shot turned aside by Richard. Shots were 43-19 when these two teams played earlier this season. That was back on December the 21st. That shot sticked aside by Richard off the stick of Connor Glue. Liam keeps it in zone on the right side for Lazat. Lazat trying to go for that bad angle shot. They'll put it over the net. Another shot from the left point by Taglieri was blocked in front. No Tigers could get on top of that. 5:55 to go first period. 1-0 Littleton Bromfield. Another takeaway, and here's Whirling. Whirling, a dangerous score, 15 goals in the season. He was denied there by Richard, and the Tigers couldn't jump on the rebound. Shots now 11-1 in favor of Littleton Bromfield. Punched off the boards down the ice. That'll go for a rare whistle. Icing is the call with 5:34 to go in the first. That game back on December the 21st. Gavin Whirling had a hat trick. Ethan King had a goal in that one and 2 assists. And Liam Glue had the 1 remaining goal. Daigle made 18 saves. And as we mentioned, Owen Richard 38 saves. So it's the same 2 goaltenders from the last meeting at the Groton School. They play up in Groton because, as you may have surmised, there are no ice hockey rinks in Littleton or Bromfield. Bromfield being the high school of the town of Harvard. From my count, looking at the Littleton Bromfield roster provided by head coach Kevin Lazat before the game, 15 players from Littleton High School and 7 from the Bromfield School. Parker Charter is also part of this co-op, and they've had players in the past, but no Panthers on the varsity roster. Not to say there aren't any in the program, just none on the 22 that I've got. Bulldogs moving up from the near side. Haas, after it was off the stick of Samet. Haas keeps control of it after the pressure. Into the zone. Medjiane, left wing corner. Sometimes they call him Gianette, sometimes Gianne. I've only recently learned Gianne is the correct way to say that name. That's whirling into the zone, 1v2. Can't beat Jackson Leader. Austin Haas off the board. That's going to be kept in at the right point. Thrown towards the slot. Bulldogs get their stick on it from Matt Daniels. If you go to the TNG's recap of the last meeting between these two teams, they actually claimed Daniels was the goalie for Littleton Bromfield, which is wrong for many reasons. Shaw on the right side scores! Tigers pick up the loose puck in the right circle. And it's beautifully positioned. Tough for Richard to beat. And for Ethan King, it's his second goal of the game. Less than 5 minutes after he made it 1-0, he makes it 2-0. Off the draw, Tucker Watkins on the right side. Taglieri knocks it off his stick. Now here's Hannon up the left side. Takes a whack, keeps moving it along. Lost it for a moment. Backhand shot deep in the slot by Huber. Misses the mark. Blake Hannon will get the lone assist. It'll be Hannon's 8th of the season on King's 11th goal of the campaign. Second on the team in goal scoring. Gavin Whirling's got 15, and now King is tied with Whirling for the team lead in points. Number 26 for King to match Whirling's number. 200 seconds to go in this first period. 2-0 to Littleton Bromfield. The shot disparity massive in this moment. 12-1 in favor of Littleton Bromfield. Here is Zach Lazar in the zone. His shot is blocked. Calaro getting in the way of that. Around the boards rides the Dashers, as it does sometimes. Connor Glue, now Liam's shot from the left point. That was actually Taglieri instead. That was cut down in front. Stretched up ice for Pittarino. Connor Glue trying to get there as well. Now a turnaround shot, scores! A one-timer with Lazat that deep in the slot. He wasn't going to miss that shot. 3-0 to the Tigers on Zach Lazat's 7th goal of the season. Kind of saw that back in the Greenfield game, that sometimes you can see a lot of danger coming from when the puck is being fought for in the corner. Pittarino and Glue get the assists. Another shot for the Tigers coming from Connor Glue is turned aside by Richard. Now another shot, Cale Picos, chance rebound, battling for it, goes over the net. Just an immense amount of zone time by Littleton Bromfield in this first period. And that's true to their game. They're so strong on offense that the other team just doesn't get much of a chance to do anything on the other end. Whirling with the moves, he gets the shot off. That one doesn't go. Ethan King in the right corner. Tumbling behind. First penalty of the game will come with 1:41 to go in the first period. That'll go against Monty Tech Fitchburg. Hold indicated against Benjiane. And he'll be sentenced to 2 minutes or less in the sin bin. Bulldogs win the draw and get it immediately out of the zone. Tigers will have to come back and regroup. You don't find too many power play numbers in high school ice hockey, but thanks to head coach Kevin Lizotte, I can tell you that Littleton Bromfield's power play clicking at 34%, 11 for 32. Kyle Gendron, stretch pass. It's knocked down by Liam Glue. Now here is Lizotte. Offside is the call as King was into the zone just a little early. 1:05 to go in the first, 125 on the power play for the Tigers. Shots are 15-1 in favor of Littleton Bromfield. Jacob Daigle has not had a whole lot to do in this contest. Thought about coming out and playing that puck along, but decided to leave it there. Connor Glue for twin brother Liam up the center of the ice. Liam Glue with the moves, trying to take it all the way in. Nothing coming there. Now Liam Glue gets it back on the right side and score! Gavin Whirling on the right side of the goal line, just turning that back towards goal and putting it in the back of the net. 4-0 Littleton Bromfield. Well, that power play efficiency is going to rise. The 12th power play goal of the season for the Tigers. Just a strong pass that right side, and Whirling right on the doorstep. Just had to poke it home. Turn it towards goal. And 4-0 the score now. The or less comes into play on Gianet's penalty, and thus we're back to full strength for the last 30 seconds or so of this first period. Right wing corner, Hannon trying to dig that out. Now to Cale Picos. He loses the handle on it, and it's backhanded by Gavin Roy towards goal. And Daigle's got to do something with that. He'll cover it up for a draw. Turns out to be just the second shot on goal in this period for MT-FHS. Everyone's happy with the players on the ice here. So one of our officials skates over to Jim LaPointe. There's something that our official's not particularly happy with. Now the other official skates over. Robert Sachs, Ryan James are referees tonight. What exactly they're discussing, your guess is as good as mine. They continue to discuss one other thing I'm noticing. Matt Daigle's got the bench door open, trying to listen in on this discussion. Daigle, one of 3 goalies on the MT-FHS roster. Mentioned Easton Minardi swearing that visitors 30 tonight because Charlie Colaro's been given his home 30 due to, I guess, something with the number 27 being out of commission. Wasn't something I was able to talk with Coach Noah Saracen about before the game. I know he was pretty happy with how the first period, he was pretty happy with how the game on Saturday against Worcester went. So there was a penalty against Owen Richard for some reason. And they'll rule the faceoff will remain in the Littleton Bromfield zone. The Bulldog has come over to serve the penalty. And Richard is incredulous. He doesn't know what the penalty is for. Why is there a penalty against him? Our officials, I imagine, know better than I do, at least. Cannot remember the last time I saw number 1 on the penalty board. Something that happened in between. It's a bench minor, so someone comes over and serves that penalty. So Monty Tech Fitchburg is on the kill for the next 2 minutes. Also, they've changed the clock to 33 seconds when there was 6.7 left. Very confusing times here in Fitchburg. And now they've got to come over and deal with that. And Littleton Bromfield has decided, you know what, if we're going to go this long without a face-off, we're just going to change the lines now. Now the clock's been set to 14:27, which is even more wrong. 6.5. That sounds about right. That's near enough. Let's drop the puck and get the rest of this period over with. The goalie gets the penalty from 180 feet away. Everything seems to get discombobulated. And we've now reached the end of the first period.
Shots Tigers at 17, Bulldogs 2.
So 1 period of play in the books at the Wallace Civic Center. Monty Tech Fitchburg nothing in Littleton Bromfield 4. And the Zamboni has to honk because he wants to get on the ice and resurface the ice, but the net is in the way on the other end. So many weird and unusual things happening in the final minute of this first period. And what was probably a perfect period for Kevin Lazoff's side.
Scored by number 2, Gavin Whirling. That was a power play goal at 14:27. On the play, Bulldog goalie Owen Richard received a 2-minute minor for slashing. The penalty was a delayed call. However, the Tigers had a man in the penalty box, which negated the delayed call. Therefore, a 2-minute penalty has to be served by the Bulldogs.
So the explanation there was that Richard committed slashing on that particular exchange. And then there was, I guess, a little more confusion because the penalty should have been assessed after that, because normally you would wipe out the penalty, but when there's a delayed call in that case, what generally happens is that the original penalty against GNA would have been washed off the board, but 2 minutes would have been put on the board against Richard, so that would have been served by another Bulldog. But there was sort of something getting crossed up there, and they didn't actually enforce the penalty that was assessed. They canceled both penalties out when they only should have canceled one, and they realized after the fact they should have put Richard or the appropriate representative in the box for 2 minutes after that, which I think why the clock was reset to 33 seconds. Because I believe that that's when the penalty should have been assessed against Richard. And then after the run of play and the clock going down to 6.5 seconds, at that point it was realized, oh, we never actually made them put a guy in the box. We never took a guy off the ice for that. So I think the thought in Jim LaPointe's head was to reset the clock to 33 seconds and then, void the rest of that play and then have the 2 minutes served there. But then they just decided to assess the penalty at that exact moment. It's a little unusual, the circumstances at the end of the first period. That's the best explanation that I can give to you. But at the end of the day, shots were 17-2 in favor of Littleton Bromfield. That was as perfect of a period, I think, as they could ever ask for. Monty Tech Fitchburg didn't have too many good opportunities offensively themselves. They only had the 2 shots, and neither of them particularly high danger chances as well. Might be one of the easier periods Jacob Dangle has had to play in goal this year for the Tigers. And, well, obviously a lot of time in the intermission to discuss where we go from here, and we'll see what kind of game we get in the next. We'll see what the next 15 minutes brings us, and then the 15 after that. So this was a very interesting first period of action. Goals for Ethan King, Gavin Whirling, and then in between King's second and Whirling's goal, Zach Lizotte. The dam kind of burst in the final 5 minutes. It was 1-0 Tigers, but then 3 goals in the span of less than 4 minutes made it 4-0. And that's where we stand through 1 period of play. We'll take a break when we come back. Second period of action coming up next here on FATV. Back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. 1 period in the books here in Fitchburg as the visiting Tigers from Littleton Bromfield dominated that first period and have a 4-0 lead. As we start the second period of action, Daniel Bolak here with you, Travis Falk on camera. We thank you for tuning in. I believe the first 7 of the first 8 shots taken by Littleton Bromfield before the 8th shot taken by the Tigers led to the first goal of the contest. That came from Ethan King with 9:10 to go in the first. Gavin Whirling and Jake Taglieri getting assists on that one. And then Ethan King struck for a second goal with 4:21 to go in the frame. Made it 2-0 on an assist from Blake Cannon. Then a one-timer from deep in the slot from Zach Lizotte, his 7th goal this season for the senior forward from the Bromfield School. That made it 3-0, and then on a power play, the only power play for most of that first period, a goal scored with 33 seconds to go in the period by Gavin Whirling. Redirecting a shot by Liam Glue made it 4-0. And then there was a slashing call that happened on that run of play that led to a lot of confusion after that, which is why the Tigers are now on their 2nd power play, as they're going from left to right in this second period in the Road Blues. Bulldogs and the home whites going right to left. The right side shot save, rebound, stopped by Richard. Great chance there by Whirling, looking for his 2nd. But Richard denies. 13 saves for the senior netminder in the first period of play, but a whole lot of high danger chances that he's had to face. He's been very busy in this contest. Now another redirected shot by Connor Glue goes behind the net. Calaro throws that around the boards, but he kept it at the left point. Cross ice Whirling, left side one-timer, a big save by Richard. Another shot goes off the side of the net. A great chance, and now King trying to get the shot off. And then Lizotte, while Richard was scrambling a little bit, but both of them had trouble settling it on their sticks. Still a minute to go on this penalty, as a shot from the left side is turned aside as well. Another blast wide of the net off the stick of Liam Glue. 45 to go on the power play for the Tigers. 13:45 to go in the second and a 4-0 lead. King on the right side holds to the point. Liam Glue, left circle, Whirling, holds, shoots, it's wide. King on the right side, backhands it out of the reach of Lizotte. He tries to double back for it. Connor Glue drop pass, but Lizotte was already retreating to the bench. Bulldogs almost had a free clear, but Liam Glue keeps it in the zone. And now a shot, and that's turned aside by Richard. That was Whirling in the slot again. Whirling as a freshman had a hat trick against St. Bernard's. Another shot blocked and another chance. King's shot is blocked again, and a stick gets yeeted into the right wing corner. As Liam Glue has another chance blocked. Penalties finally over to the Bulldogs. They're back to full strength. 4 shots on that run of play for the Tigers. Now out shooting Monty Tech Fitchburg 21-2, and that's dumped in. That will be on target, and Jacob Dangle will have to cover that. 12:45 to go in the second. 4-0 Littleton Bromfield. They've had some pretty gaudy score lines this year. 9-1 win over Leominster to open their season, a 9-0 win over Oakmont. They also beat Gardner 6-1 as well, after beating them 4-0 the first time out. But the biggest one that stands out was what they did to Northbridge. Northbridge is having a really rough season. They're 0-14. They've been outscored by 1,000,000 to 1, it feels like. I think we said on Saturday, coming into Saturday, it was 90-10. There's a shot from the left side is stopped by Richard, and he'll jump on the rebound. But the score line in that game on January the 6th against Northbridge, 14-1. You don't see score lines like that too often. And I believe the box score was of any indication, only 3 shots on goal for the Rams in that entire contest. The right side, tough angle shot. Hannon getting that one away, but couldn't put it past. Now on the left side, Genren turns around. Can't get a clean shot off. Really, at this point, I think if you're Monty Tech Fitchburg, just try to get shots on Dangle. Don't worry about the quality at the moment. Just try to see if you can test him in any way, shape, or form. Looks like there were actually 10 shots in that game, or at least 10 shots could see that Northbridge was able to get. I think the box score that was on the TNG implied even fewer. I could also be mixing it up with another game. Tigers have it back to their own end. Genren plays a man into the boards. Right circle, and a shot, a goal! Seemed like it came out of nowhere, but Kyle Genren released it and was able to beat Dangle on just their 3rd shot of the game. Monty Tech Fitchburg is on the board. Just was able to get the release off from the right circle. Happened so quick, I didn't really even get a good look at it. I wasn't expecting it, but it found its way to the back of the net. And how about that? As I said, just get it on net and see what happens. Tucker Watkins gets the assist on Kyle Genren's 11th goal of the season. For my count, it's Tucker Watkins' 10th assist, and for Jackson Stubbert, it's his 2nd assist of the season for the freshman from Holden. Gavin Whirling getting on that one. Nice pass for King. Shot to the left side, stopped by Richard. The rebound was almost, if anything, put in by a Bulldog. 10:17 to go in the second period. 4-1 Littleton Bromfield, outshooting the Bulldogs 26-3 at this moment. It's quite a lopsided number for what is about 20 minutes of hockey, and there's a 5th goal for Littleton Bromfield. Andrew Archer in the slot. The junior from Lunenburg has the response for the Tigers. It's 5-1. The response comes from Archer 69 seconds after the goal from Kyle Gendron. (5-1) now to Littleton Bromfield. Whirling and King get the assists on that one. They'll each drive their point totals up ever further. Stretch out to the left side, tried to hit Gavin Roy, but knocked down by Justin Lefebvre. Cale Picos on the right side, shot blocked by Jackson Leader. Off the boards, kept in the zone. Trying to hold at the left point is Huber. Goes along the boards and ricochets to the right wing corner. Roy can't keep it on his stick. Hannon takes it away, tries to cut towards goal. Leader's got that instead. Drops off the board for Daniels, and then Roy backhands it out of the zone, down the ice, a little hop, skip and jump, and icing will be the call. 8:49 to go in the second, 5-1 Littleton Bromfield. Well, we have a moment, want to give a shout out to Ray Richard, who's been an assistant coach for Littleton Bromfield for the last several years. He's told he just got home from the hospital today after having some major surgery. Tuning in tonight, Ray. Hope all's going well with you. We look forward to seeing you at the rink again, or wherever, really. Such a very interesting man, Ray Richard is. On the right side is Connor Glue into the zone. Now left side, one-timer scores! Just beautifully fed and cutting to the doorstep and putting that home. Connor Glue, I think, leads the handshake line, but that's not right because there's a 1 being covered by that jersey. It's Ryan Pittarino who got the finish. Ryan Pittarino gets his 6th goal of the season, and it's 6-1 to Littleton Bromfield. Owen Richard slams his stick to the ice in frustration. This has been a rough night, and a wraparound shot stopped, and a rebound goes wide to the right. Pittarino tried to pull out a little bit of fancy moves. There was some space to work with. It nearly worked. Both the Glue twins assist on that goal. Knew it sounded wrong trying to say that Connor had the goal when he had the feed. Now a tight angle chance by Zach Lizotte is stopped by Richard. 13 seconds short of halfway in this contest. And the Littleton Bromfield Tigers flying high tonight, 6-1. Shots in this period are 12-1 in favor of the Tigers. Well, at least the Bulldogs have a 100% shooting efficiency in this frame. Big hit on the near side. Austin Haas to the left side, trying to make it all the way to Dangle. He was able to shut down the hatches there on the near side post. Littleton Bromfield coming back with numbers, a 2-on-1. Gavin whirling with space to work with. He shoots and he's stopped by Richard. 24th save of the night for the senior goalkeeper, who's just been peppered up and down all night long. Another grade A chance for the Tigers. Bulldogs win the draw. Kept it at the right point by Dunn. But Monty Tech Fitchburg able to get it out of the zone. Haas knocked down to the ice and into the boards. Some cheers from the Littleton Bromfield side. Haas turnaround shot. Stopped by Dangle. Not had to say that too many times. It's only the 4th save for Dangle in this contest. Face-off comes to the left of the junior netminder from the town of Harvard. As actually that's Liam Glue up the ice. But he can't do much with it as on the far side. And battling with Nick Atkins for that puck, and now stolen away. Here's Kalaro up the center of the ice. His shot off a Tiger stick and deflected in the netting and out of play. 6:34 to go in the second. 6-1 Littleton Bromfield. Shots 30-5 in favor of the Tigers. Littleton Bromfield is yet to face Lunenburg Ayer Shirley, who they'll face twice near the end of this regular season. LAS 12-1-1 on the season. There's Atkins in the right circle, throws it around the boards. Those two sides will play each other on the 8th and the 17th. That game on the 8th will be part of Hockey Day in the Berg. So on the left side, some moves, but no release there from Austin Huber. Tigers have control of it. Moving from the left point, trying to find Blake Cannon. Matt Daniels gets there first. Try to move it along the far side boards, but nothing going there. Set back around, and Littleton Bromfield will change the lines. They're up by 5 goals with 5:35 to go in the second. Dumped back into the zone, and Daniels behind the net. Moves it around to the near side. Lazat and now Liam Glue to the right side. Another shot, and that's stopped by Richard. Off the blade of Connor Glue. Richard wasn't quite sure he knew where it was. Paused for a moment, hesitated, thought maybe that might have shown up behind him, but nope, it was under him. 25th save of the contest. He's had to make a save a minute in this game as the face-off won by the Tigers. Handle lost on that. Lots of stuff happening, and a penalty is going to be called as Stubbert was tripped up. Monty Tech Fitchburg's going to get a power play here. Not enough of a clean break to award a penalty shot there, but Jack Dunn will go to the box. As per the Littleton Bromfield season statistics, that's his 2nd trip to the bin this season. But probably not a terrible penalty to take, all things considered. The Stubbert had a legitimate chance of breaking in on Jacob Dangle. Nice spin move there to keep control of the puck. Bulldogs bring it in. Watkins just barely got it over the blue line. Then an active stick from a Tiger knocked it back out. Looks like Connor Glue there with the pressure. And now a takeaway there. Found Zach Lazat. Now he'll just dump it in and around and play a little bit of keep away there from the Bulldogs. 77 seconds to go on this power play. 4:25 in the second, and a 6-1 lead for the Tigers from Littleton Bromfield. Trying to get it to Kalaro, but that pass not clean. Stretched up ice, could have been a 2-on-1. Couldn't find the blade of Lazat. Here's Watkins up the left side, he's into the zone. Watkins with a shot saved by Dangle, and a backhand shot Dangle was able to get across to the near side post to cover that up as well. The initial save off of Dangle's pads, not with the most confidence in the direction it was bouncing. I think he was pretty concerned about where that was going to go. .56 to go on the man advantage. 2 shots on this power play already for MT-FHS. As the Tigers get it right out of the zone, they'll tag up, and now here's Gendron. He drops off for Watkins on the left side boards. Watkins gets around whirling, gets a shot off. It goes up into the netting and out of play. I think Dangle got a piece of it with the blocker. Face-off will come to Dangle's right. All black pads and the black gloves. I quite like that. That shot goes wide from off the stick of Jackson Leader. There's Gendron in the right wing corner. Going to keep control of that puck, try to get himself set up to pass that along, but strong play from Ryan Petterino to dispossess. Tried to feed Whirling near the point, but it was taken by Calaro. He gets a shot on Dangle, and he'll hold for a draw. Talked about this earlier this year, how there are some goaltenders who like to go with all white pads and some teams that like to enforce a predominantly white pad situation, because that way they figure that shooters will blindly shoot at the pads thinking that it's open net or ice. But some philosophies like the dark colored pads or the all black like Dangle's got here, because that way it's harder to find in the scrums. If that gives you a split second more to be able to cover the puck up, or maybe earn a whistle if the official loses sight of the puck, that could be its own advantage if used properly. Penalty is up to done, and back to full strength are the Tigers. Under 3 to go in the second period. King shot, scores! Off the glove of Richard and into the back of the net. It's a hat trick for Ethan King, and it's 7-1 Littleton Bromfield. Did get a hat thrown onto the ice, and they collected that and got it back to the fan. #12th goal of the season for the senior. A solid night for him. And 7-1 the score. Littleton Bromfield looking for a little more. And now for the Bulldogs. They know in the back of their minds if they don't score the next 2.5 minutes, then this third period is going to be played under mercy rules.
Tigers set it forward. His third goal of the game scored by number 14, Ethan King.
Now Hannon with the shot goes wide.
That goal is 12-10.
No assistance on that goal for King, did it all by himself. The running clock goes into effect if there's a 6-goal lead after the second period ends, where we are right now, and we're a minute 59 from. So that's deflected into the netting and out of play. Makes it all the more difficult for a team to put up so many goals, if you will. Especially when in the third period, you just get running time to work with. Bulldogs are able to get it out to the neutral zone. Jake Taglieri on the near side, off the stick of Lizotte. Now Connor Glue, what's on a move, throws it in front, tried to hit Lizotte in the slot. Couldn't quite get there. A lot of pressure there now. Tucker Watkins perhaps creating a break. Watkins! The stop made by Dangle, but there is a penalty coming here. Now a blast from the right side, that's blocked. Another chance is blocked as well. Now we'll have the whistle. See, what have we here? There'll be a slash indicated against Jake Taglieri. Thought we might have had decent grounds for a penalty shot. Actually did have a penalty shot on Saturday. And that was Watkins who was fouled on a breakaway. That was a bit of a confusing stretch in that near the end of that game too. For those who did watch that game on Saturday, I was talking with Coach Noah Saracen before the game, and they said they did actually give the option of accepting a 5-on-3 or 5-on-4 in a penalty shot. And they figured if we're getting the power play anyway, why not try the penalty shot? As the net came off there, Colaro collided with the net after he's pushed in by a Tiger. And some disagreements afterwards, as you do in these games. 59.2 to go in the second, 7-1 Littleton Bromfield. Monty Tech Fitchburg knowing they need to score before the end of this period if they want to avoid the dreaded running clock. Face off won cleanly by Watkins, but perfectly split the D. And so Colaro's got to go all the way back and get that one. And Colaro wearing Easton Minardi's home jersey tonight, as something is wrong with the number 27 he normally wears. Battle forward in front of the Monty Tech Fitchburg bench and ends up going into the bench itself. Faceoff will come outside of the zone with 35.8 on the clock. Second power play of the contest for Monty Tech Fitchburg. Jake Taglieri's in the box for the second time this season. It's the first minor penalty, actually, because the one other penalty was a major, because he has 5 penalty minutes coming into today. 21 seconds to go in the period. It's Andrew Archer with some strong penalty killing work by the Tigers. Now just some strong movement, and now Archer with a shot. Goes off the side of the net. Around the boards. Pittarino will get to it. They yell shoot, and he does. Richard turns it aside, and the buzzer will sound to end the second period. Shots in that second, 16-8 in favor of the Tigers. They get 3 more goals. Monty Tech Fitchburg gets one of their own, but the 6-goal differential means that when this third period comes after the ice cleaning, we're going to have 15 real-time minutes left. Goals for Andrew Archer, Ryan Pittarino, and Ethan King, the last of which completing his hat trick. Give Littleton Bromfield 7 goals in 2 periods. Monty Tech Fitchburg getting one back before any of the Tigers' goals in this frame from Kyle Gendron. Just able to backhand it deep in the right circle and beat Jacob Dangle to ruin his shutout bid. So 7-1 through 2 periods of play, but mercy shall be declared. And we'll have the running clock in the third period. Shots in this game 33-10 in favor of Littleton Bromfield. Just about everything you could have asked for, I imagine, if you're a Tigers fan. Maybe you probably didn't like the 1 goal conceded, but other than that, what more is there to complain about? Everything's coming up Millhouse tonight for the Tigers. They lead by 6. As we go into the second break, we'll take it as well, and we'll be back with the third period of action soon, so don't go away. This is Monty Tech Fitchburg Bulldog Ice Hockey on FATV. Back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University, 2 periods in the books here between the Monty Tech Fitchburg Bulldogs and the Littleton Bromfield Tigers. And the rules of high school ice hockey tell us this game is unfortunately more or less decided through 2 periods of play. 7-1, Littleton Bromfield in front through 2 periods of play. And when the puck drops, it'll be 15 minutes of real-time hockey for the end of the game. Littleton Bromfield has dominated this game from the word go, outshooting the Bulldogs 33-10 in this contest. Ethan King has completed a hat trick for the Tigers. It's his first hat trick of the season, just the 3rd hat trick for any Littleton Bromfield Tiger this year. Gavin Whirling actually had hat tricks in consecutive games earlier this year. 3 goals and an assist against MT-FHS, followed by a 3-goal night against Oakmont. The one big thing for this 3rd period, though, to watch is that MT-FHS is going to go with Matt Daigle in goal for the 3rd period. The senior from Winchendon is going to make his varsity debut here in this 3rd period. He's played a bunch of JV hockey for this Bulldog side. But now he's finally going, and he's played in the scrimmages as well, but now he's going to finally get a chance to play in goal in a varsity game. The 3rd period of action is underway, and MT-FHS does have a carryover power play to start this 3rd period. 25 seconds to work with on that, as Tucker Watkins has to retreat from the zone. The pressure too great from Blake Hannon. Charlie Collaro on the right side, wearing Easton Minardi's number 30 tonight. Threw it out in front. Nicely thrown in the slot, but nobody in white to immediately handle it. But Watkins has it with 6 on the power play. Held in the left circle, shot just misses the mark. Try to clear out of the zone, Watkins keeps it in, penalty is up. Jackson Leader on the right side, finds Gendron, goes back to Leader on the right half boards. But we have a whistle, something has gone wrong somewhere. And that is the net has become dislodged. Face-off will come to one side of Jacob Dangle. And as we mentioned, the clock on your screen, wired into the scoreboard, is running. As a 10-goal lead after 1 period, or more relevantly in this case, a 6-goal lead after 2 periods of play, leads to mercy being declared and the 3rd period being played under running time. Gavin Whirling tries to knock it out of zone. Andrew Archer up the right side. He feeds Ethan King, and now Matt Daigle's going to get tested. And it's a brilliant snipe into the top right corner for the 4th goal of the game for Ethan King. Whether it was Matt Daigle, Easton Minardi, Owen Richard, Dominic Hasek, Martin Brodeur, that would have been a hard shot to stop, no matter who was in net for that. A perfect snipe into the top right corner, and it's 8-1 to the Tigers. That particular case, just giving him a lot of space and time to shoot. Then centered into the slot, and nearly another A+++ scoring opportunity for King. But he whiffed on the opportunity. Just too far out in front of him. Now that puck slithers through the paint and out the other side. Here comes the pressure again. Gavin Whirling into the zone. He's dispossessed by Ryan Gavin. Now wraparound chance, and that's stopped by Daigle. Another blast from the right side. Daigle makes the save there as well. Before the start of the 3rd period, when the teams were getting back to the entrances to the ice, I could see the way that the body language of the team, seeing that Daigle was going to get the opportunity to play here in this 3rd period. You can see Daigle jumping up and down. He looked hyped, the players looked hyped. You can see the other goalies both supporting him in that moment, happy that he's going to have this opportunity at least. He's already got a couple saves on his ledger. As a shot from Haas there ends up going just wide of the goal. A little more on target, and that probably would have beaten Daigle. So there was a lot of space on that far post. Archer Taglieri get the assists on the 4th goal of the night for Ethan King. No Tigers had a 4-goal night this season. Till tonight. Littleton Bromfield well on their way to taking their 6th consecutive victory over MT-FHS. And their 3rd consecutive season of sweeping the season series. Have to go back to the 21-22 season to find the last time MT-FHS got a victory over this Tiger side. Remember, these two teams during the pandemic played each other 3 times. There's a shot from Justin Lefebvre, goes wide of the cage. Trying to move it down the ice. Stick flashing gets in the way of that. A shot is blocked. Another chance goes wide. Another chance. Scores! Backhand in the top left corner this time for the Tigers. And the lead is now 9-1. No handshake line this time on this goal. And in fact, a goaltending change in the last 10 minutes. Jack Prue will come into the game for the Tigers and make his 3rd appearance of the season. So by statistics and playing time specifically, both teams now have their 3rd choice netminders in the contest. Austin Huber gets his 4th goal of the season. Assist for Justin Lefebvre, who gets his 1st assist of the season. He had 2 goals coming into tonight. And Ryan Petterino gets an assist as well. Petterino had goal number 6 for Littleton Bromfield. On the right side, Lazar's shot is fought off by Daigle. Now that'll be knocked down out of the zone. Won't be on target, won't be icing either, because I believe it did hit the defenseman at the left point there in Taglieri before it came out of the zone. Bulldogs throw it into the zone, and out it'll come. Gavin whirling on the right side, out in front. Great chance by Archer, but couldn't put it on target. Center of the ice, 8:15 and counting to go in this contest. Now Archer's got another chance. 2-man breakaway! I think my speechless response, will sum up how I felt about that. A tremendous athletic save by Matt Daigle. And another great chance and another save by Daigle. Now trying to get back in position. Littleton Bromfield hasn't let up since Daigle's come to the game, and what a save that one was. Flashing the leather on the right hand. One of the very rare catch-right goalies out there. He's the only one I've seen in high school this year. He's only the 2nd one I've seen in the hockey games I've called for FATV this season. Those who've been watching all of our hockey games may remember Esteban Gauthier from Westfield State. The catch-rights are a very rare breed. Over 90 goalies in the NHL this year, and only 5 of them catch with their right hand. Interestingly, the Washington Capitals have 2 of them. Logan Thompson and Charlie Lindgren. The other 3, trying to remember them all off the top of my head. Yaroslav Askarov from San Jose, the former Nashville Predator prospect. Karel Vejmelka, the Utah Hockey Club. And Louis Domingue, the man of the spicy pork, now playing for the New York Rangers. Those are the only goalies who catch with their right hands in the NHL this year. 6:07 to go in the third period of action. 9-1 Littleton Bromfield in front. It's been a brilliantly executed game for the Tigers. Another shot. That one's going to be gloved by Daigle. Cheers from the MT-FHS side. Clock will keep on ticking. Shots in this period 8-1 in favor of the Tigers. They found the back of the net twice in this frame. Leading 9-1 as that faceoff went all the way down the ice. Kale Picos will pick it up. Double teamed for a moment, but he'll keep control of it. Pass it down the right side for Zach Lizotte. Saw it on the right side. All the moves to the goal. Going down hard. Towards the goal, but can't get a shot cleanly away. Pittorino takes it behind the net, tries to move it around, maybe trying to find Lizotte, but all the Bulldogs swarming him. Stefanillo takes a tumble to the ice, a whistle, and now we had a delayed penalty for all of that. And a cross-check indicated. Pittorino will go to the bin. Sit for 2 minutes in the discipline dungeon. Pittorino's 7th trip to the bin this year. Penalty minutes 13 and 14. Because of the way that these penalties are enforced, because of the way things work, the Daktronics consoles allow you to stop the penalty clocks. That's actually a feature more for when you don't want the penalty clocks running during an intermission. But when mercy is declared, you just press that button to stop the clock. There's a shot from the left side, stopped by Prue. Rebound is loose and thrown out down the boards. Prue, a sophomore from Littleton. The only Littleton goalie on the varsity roster. The other two netminders, and Jacob Daigle and Tyler Proto, are both Bromfield students. Proto is also one of the 4 quad captains on this Littleton Bromfield side. Bulldogs try to take it all the way to goal. Tigers have other plans. Shots 42-12 in favor of Littleton Bromfield in this contest. They lead 9-1 with 3 minutes to go. 45 on the power play as Gendron into the zone. He's got Janae to his left. Gendron keeps control of it, drops off. Watkins trying to take it all the way, and Gendron trying to get a backhand on. He was in the right place, but just couldn't get it cleanly on the backhand, and it goes wide to the left. Now another shot inside, and it came out to that right point, that right side on the goal line. Watkins' shot is patted away by Prue. Think about the wraparound there. Leader had his stick, or GNA had his stick tangled up. And a stretch pass down the ice. Colby Lewis was in pursuit. And Daigle was able to poke it away into the corner. Penalty is up now to Pittorino. Tigers back to full strength with 2:05 to go in the game. Here's Watkins on the left side. Watkins trying to take it all the way. Can't get past the multiple Tigers that are there. And now that played off the boards and out of the zone. Noah Johnson on the right side. His shot deflects into the netting and out of play. Clock paused for a moment, but mercy still in effect, so it's got to restart. Face off to the left of Jack Prue. I remember talking with Kevin Lizotte last year when he said that they actually had 6 different goaltenders in their system last year. They were even regularly dressing 4 of them too. 2 of them graduated. Luke Beretta and Charles Becker. Becker was a lot of fun to watch. I mentioned that last week too, in the Worcester game. As the conversation just happened to get to him. Littleton Bromfield fans probably remember the times when Becker, as part of his pregame, as part of his start of period routine, would throw himself into the boards, but he stopped doing that his senior year because apparently they made a rule that said if he did that, he'd have to sit in the box for 10 minutes. One little anecdote that I felt like I could share with that last moment of this game. What's been the trademark this year for the Tigers has just been the fact how much zone time they're able to create, how much offense they're able to generate. 71 goals coming into tonight. They'll go all the way down, no icing with 12 seconds left. And all that pressure, all those opportunities thrown back from the right side, and another save for Daigle. This time will run out here. One more self-pass attempted by Colin Bean. As the buzzer sounds, the game comes to an end. A dominant performance for the Littleton Bromfield Tigers. They take a 9-1 victory.
Bromfield had 9 for a game total of 42. MT-FHS Bulldogs had 3 for a game total of 13, and your final score: Littleton Bromfield Tigers 9 and MT-FHS Bulldogs 1.
It was definitely a challenging game for the Bulldogs. Just really couldn't deal with all that zone pressure and the strong offense generated by the Tigers. The opportunities came early and often in so many different chances. Owen Richard made 26 saves in the first 2 periods. Matt Daigle goes 7 for 9 in his varsity debut period of action. Still found the time for 9 shots and 15 minutes of running time. It was good to see him get in the game, and he made a tremendous save that I imagine he'll never forget. That glove save on the 2-man breakaway left me speechless. MT-FHS will fall below 500 again. They're now 6-7. Came into today 25th in Division 4. May not lose the most points in the world. After all, Littleton Bromfield came into tonight 6th in Division 4. About over a point and a half ahead of MT-FHS in the standings. Pretty close to what a playoff matchup would look like between those two seeds. 6 and 25, not too far away from, let's say, 7 and 26. I think the Bulldogs know they would rather avoid this particular team. So MT-FHS goes to 6 and 7, Littleton Bromfield to 12 and 2. Tigers will next be in action on February 1st on Saturday. They get to play the Falcons of Danvers. A 5 o'clock start against that Division 3 side. Danvers only 3-7 and 2, but they've played a ridiculously tough schedule and are in prime position in Division 3. Meanwhile, MT-FHS, it won't be too long before the next home game. That'll also be Saturday, February 1st. So they'll be facing the Oakmont Spartans for the second time this year. A 4 o'clock start here from the Wallace Civic Center. Will also be senior day for the Bulldogs. 10 seniors that are going to be honored, including all 3 goalkeepers. And considering MT-FHS dominated Oakmont last time they played the Spartans, it'll be interesting to see what kind of matchup we'll see the second time around here at the Civic Center. And our next ice hockey telecast on FATV is a lot sooner than you think. It's actually tomorrow night, as the Fitchburg State Falcons will be hosting the Lancers of Worcester State. Another 6:30 puck drop here from the Wallace Civic Center. And we hope you'll tune in for that. And not much more really to be said about this one. Littleton Bromfield showed how strong a defense can be if you have such a powerful offense. This team that gives up 17 shots a game coming into tonight gave up just 13, generated 42 shots of their own, 9 of which found the back of the net. And they take a 9-1 victory. For Travis Falk on camera, I'm Daniel Bolak saying thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. And until then, so long from Fitchburg.